decomposing in Casey Anthony's car, evidence that seems to bring doubt into the fate of the toddler. News 13's Melissa Crabtree spoke with a defense attorney about the significance of the state's evidence.
2 hairs and the smell of death. The amount of evidence in the criminal case against Casey Anthony we know about so far. According to defense attorney Richard Hornsby, it amounts to very little and raises more questions.
And it's extremely disappointing. I think the defense now has a much stronger case than they did a week ago.
The air samples show decomposition, but this research could be the weakest link in the case. The testing only started in 2002, which Hornsby says indicates is not something generally accepted within the scientific community, and therefore might not hold up in court.
A lot of chances for contamination, for other sources to have caused this. It was next to a woods. There could have been decomposing animals back there. The trunk was open for a long period of time.
What Hornsby is surprised about the most is just how clean the trunk was. He says too clean if we're expected to believe Anthony was acting alone.
The lack of evidence seems to indicate that this trunk was just scrubbed clean by someone that knew what they were doing. I don't believe, based on what I've seen in the media, that Miss Anthony herself is capable of doing this, and suggests to me that there might be somebody else that did it.
One strand of hair found in the trunk matches hair found on Kaylee's brush. The other small hair fragment was found on a shovel. However, scientists say the hair is not from Casey or Kaylee Anthony.
What I've heard, there can only be one of 3 people. The neighbor who the shovel originally belonged to, and we don't know whether or not he's been tested. Casey Anthony's boyfriend, or Casey Anthony's father.
Hornsby says identifying whose hair is on the shovel may link that person to Kaylee's death. Meanwhile, the spokesperson for Casey Anthony's attorney, Jose Baez, says today's released information proves absolutely that there has never been and still isn't any connection with Casey Anthony having committed any crime. Ms. Anthony, her mother and father, and Jose Baez continue to believe Kaylee is still alive. Hornsby believes a second suspect will surface, someone not only thorough, but knowledgeable.
So if the hypothesis that Kaylee was in this trunk is true, whoever helped Miss Anthony was very intelligent, and I would have to think that they had some law enforcement background.
In Orange County, Melissa Crabtree, News 13.
Scientists also tested the decomposition of pizza. Although no pizza was found in Anthony's trunk, the family claims there was a maggot-covered pizza in the trunk when they found the car. In the sample test, no maggots were found on the pizza. Despite the evidence, Casey maintains she left Kaylee with a babysitter who then took off with the child. Meanwhile, we've learned that a pastor at Eastside Baptist Church visited Casey Anthony in jail today.